This is Rosie Haneke from the Library of the Health Sciences at the University of Illinois at Chicago with a brief introduction to the style and citation format of the American Medical Association, also known as AMA, AMA, or JAMA style. AMA is the format used by the Journal of the American Medical Association. The information presented here is based on the 11th edition of the AMA Manual of Style, which is the most recent version of the publication, published in 2020. You can access this ebook for free through the library at UIC. Search the library website for AMA Manual of Style, and you'll see a link to the ebook under Books and Media in your search results. Just make sure you're accessing the most recent edition. It will say 2020. AMA style covers many different elements of the formatting process, including guidelines for English grammar and usage, writing about statistics, and including tables and figures in your papers. But the major element that we see questions about at the library when it comes to AMA style is formatting your references or citations. First, when you insert a citation into your paper, use a superscript number, not a parenthetical citation as you would with other styles like MLA or APA. So you're not going to see author names or publication years within the text, just a number that corresponds to the reference list at the end of your paper. Those numbers will start with 1 and go up from there because your references will be listed in the order they were cited in your paper. This is another major difference from other citation styles that require the references to be alphabetized. Yours won't be alphabetized. They'll be listed in the order that you cited them. If you have more than one source supporting the same citation, separate them with commas unless they're part of a series. For example, you'd write 4-7 instead of 4567. If you cite the same source more than once, reuse the number of the previous citation of that source, but add the page number. This is an excerpt from the AMA Manual of Style, which shows the basic acceptable data for references. So you might want to pause the slide here. There are examples of both journal articles and websites, which are usually the two most cited types of sources. If the source you're using is electronic, that is, if you accessed it online, you'll need to include either the URL or the DOI number, and we'll talk about that a little more in just a minute. It's important to remember that the purpose of references is to enable your reader to access those same resources using only the information you provide. So a good rule of thumb is to ask yourself if you've provided enough information for that to happen. For example, if your citation includes a URL, use the exact URL that corresponds with the article or website that you cited. Don't link to the organization or journal's homepage, which would require the reader to search that site for your specific source. Link directly to the source. And in the same vein, if the item you cited isn't retrievable at all, for example, if it's a private conversation that you had with someone, or a presentation that you viewed that isn't available online, don't cite it at the end of your paper. The manual has guidance on how to refer to that source within the body of your paper, but you won't include it in your list of references at the end. When using AMA style, abbreviate scholarly journal titles. If you find the article in PubMed, you'll notice that PubMed lists the abbreviated journal title for all of its records. If you don't know the abbreviation for a journal, look it up in the National Library of Medicine or NLM catalog. The web address is listed here, but you can also just do a Google search for NLM catalog journals to get to the same page. Then search for the title of the journal, and you'll see a record of that journal along with the NLM title abbreviation. If you get too many results, try putting the journal title in quotation marks like I did here with health, education, and behavior. Here are two examples of journal article citations. Pay careful attention to capitalization and punctuation because these are different in AMA than they were in other citation styles you may have used. For example, in the title of a journal article, only the first word of the title is capitalized. Your abbreviated journal title is italicized. And after the title are 4 numbers: date of publication, volume, issue number in parentheses, and page numbers. If your article has 7 or more authors, just list the first 3 names and then write et al. The DOI, or Digital Object Identifier, is a string of characters that always starts with 1, 0, and a decimal point. It's like a social security number for a document. It will always refer to that document that you're citing and no other. If your journal article provides a DOI, include the word DOI, a colon, and then paste the DOI number at the end of your citation. Don't put a period after the DOI, as this could interfere with your reader's ability to link to the article. The DOI should be printed on the first page of your article or in the database where you found it, for example in the PubMed record. If you can't find a DOI, use the URL for the journal article. And remember, you want a URL that will take the reader directly to that article. Try to avoid using links from subscription databases, as not everyone can access them. It's better to use the journal publisher's website or a permanent link from a free database like PubMed. There is software that can make this process easier. Citation management software, as the name implies, manages your citations or references for you. RefWorks, EndNote, Zotero, and Mendeley are some of the most popular of these products. Zotero and Mendeley are free online, and RefWorks is free to you through the UIC Library homepage. All of these programs will organize your references and format them into any citation style you want. They also come with downloadable add-ons for Microsoft Word. You can sync Word to your Citation Manager account and actually insert citations as you type your paper. Then they'll format the references at the end of the paper. In AMA style, this is particularly useful because the citations are numbered. So if you insert several citations as you type, but then want to change their order, or you want to add a new citation in the first paragraph of your paper, the add-on will actually track which numbers correspond to which references and will update the numbers and the reference list automatically for you as you change things around. Just remember that these programs can make citation faster and easier by inserting all of the elements in the correct order, but they do often contain errors, especially when it comes to small things like capitalization and punctuation. So always double check your citations yourself and make corrections as needed. The library is here to help you. We can arrange online meetings or work over email. There's also a chat with a librarian feature on the library webpage, which is good for short questions. We can help you learn how to use those citation managers like RefWorks and Zotero. And we can also offer you general guidance on citation styles. That is to say, pointing you to information about how to cite in styles, including AMA. What we cannot do is check your citations or tell you how to write a particular citation, because that's work that you're responsible for. But we're happy to answer your more general questions. From the library website, click Contact Us to see several ways that you can get help with these and other questions.